The last heat of round number 3 is getting ready to go. We have a little bit of time. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Manny V here, and Nick Mesrit's holding it down here in the commentator's booth. We are coming down to the wire for round number 3, heat number 8, currently out in the water. This is the heat to watch, ladies and gentlemen. We got one of the best bodyboarders, if not the best bodyboarder in the world, Ben Player out there in the red jersey, going against the young gun, Jake Stone in white. Here he is up and riding. And we will also see Jason Finlay, last year's Fronton champ. So this heat is stacked.
And here comes a set. We've got the riders here, but behind the screen we've got a set rolling in. So hopefully we can cut away from the rider profiles and see what happens. But Ben Player, 2-time world champion. Jake Stone from, I don't know where he's from nowadays, WA, Queensland, he's all around the place. Jace Finlay now pulls through this one, pops a roll, comes through the section. Nice first scoring wave for Jace Finlay. South Coast, New South Wales, Australia. So 3 Aussies in this heat. Jake Stone, originally from the Sunshine Coast, went over to stay in WA for a couple of years and is on the Gold Coast now. So a bit of a bodyboarding nomad. And then Ben Player is a born and bred Avalon boy. So here we have Jace Finlay's wave. Sneaks through it there, pops a roll. Not a big wave, but a good way to start the heat. And that leaves Ben Player in red in priority. So we've got Alex Leon jumping into the hot seat here, taking over from Manny V, who's got a well-earned break.
Yeah, g'day, Mez. How are you?
Good, mate, good.
Good.
How's the contest running going? For those that don't know, Alex is also the contest director, so the poor bugger's running around with like a headless chook with 1,000 tasks to do, different languages to deal with, and not much sleep. So
the language is the hardest one here. I mean, I'm learning Spanish at the moment, but it's coming pretty slow to me. So
well, we saw yesterday Ryan Hardy do the commentary, the interview in Spanish.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So that shows you, like, these guys go to so many Spanish locations. You got Chile, we've got Fronton, and these boys have toured for years. The guys like Ryan, Ben, they're pretty fluent now, you know. And,
well, most of the event. Oh, we got Puerto Rico,
yeah,
Portugal, and
Canary
Islands. It's all Spanish.
We got Jerry Houston with a Spanish girlfriend. So yeah, so he's fluent as well. So yeah, language is a barrier, and when you're running a contest in a different country, you get a lot of things to deal with.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and then he's commentating as well, so multitasking.
Yeah, we've got to do everything here. It just gets out of control sometimes, but
yep.
We've got it underhand here, and we've got a good show for everyone at the moment. It's been good.
Hope you guys at home are enjoying it, and we've got the last heat of round 3, and we're going into round 4, I believe, straight away, Alex. Is that correct?
Yeah. So this is we're going into round 4, which is non-elimination, which we will actually hopefully dive into round 5 as well as the tide starts to go out. We're going to see some better conditions around the 2-3 o'clock mark.
So with the 4th round, it is non-elimination, but if you win that heat, you go into, it's like a leapfrog into
the quarters.
The quarters. So although it's a non-elimination round, to win that heat just gives you such a massive advantage, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, straight away you're basically looking at
on his
a
first
fifth.
one. Sorry to interrupt there, Alex. So he bottom turns on that one, punches a nice roll, and can he pull through that one? No.
Heavy landing there, right in the foam. Looks like he's come unstuck.
Yeah, and it's hard inside, isn't it? Like, I mean, if you get past that and make the roll, it's clean sailing. But that section right there on the reef just seems to like compress up and blow you off the board if you're not in front of it. So,
yeah, it comes into a big V too. The left and right just wrap into each other.
Yeah. Well, you sometimes see that white water just pushing in, right? Just comes along and just swats them from
sideways.
The inside, exactly.
Like you on the footy field, eh? Just a big side arm knocking people out.
Not these days, mate. Yeah, so like we said before, these guys are all mates, but they put that on hold for half an hour, and you know, they're all fighting for different things. We have Jake Stone, who's outside the 16 at the moment, and he's you know, fighting to stay in that top 16 like Ryan. Ben Player, I think, is pretty sweet. home and hosed, and Jace is chasing the free surfing at the moment, so not full time.
And trying to back his title up from here.
Exactly.
If you don't know, Jace Finlay was a 2011 champion at Fronton as a wild card. He was C-band player. Looking at this one, going for a nice forward air, just landing on top. He'll be a bit upset with that, I think. That in the first wave, he won't be too happy.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a combination thing, and when you start, not a combination, but when you start to get two waves and they don't quite cooperate, you start to get frustrated. And it's whether or not they can deal with that frustration and turn that into a positive.
Yeah.
Or dwell
compose
on it,
yourself.
Yeah, don't want to build on that. So Ben's a consummate professional, and we have seen him get a little angry after a few heats, but that's just the way he is.
Yeah.
And he'll be out there and getting back into position, and Jake will be saying some smart-ass remark. And yeah, but all in all, they're mates, and it'll be a fun heat. So
yeah, can't take anything away from Ben. He's won 2 world titles before. In 2005 he won, and 2007. So he's a veteran pretty much of the sport now. He's what would you say? He's well composed out there. He's been on the ropes many a times.
yeah, I mean, these guys are well prepared. I mean, I know Ben does a lot of yoga, a lot of the hot yoga, and a lot of swimming. Doesn't do any weights at all. He's not into the weights. Stretching, with the yoga and the breathing, lots of swimming, and yeah, that's his regime. 500 cups of coffee.
Loves the coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I think we've got a beach interview. Manny's down there with that last heat winner, Johan Florentine. Manny, where you at?
Hey, people. Johan Florentine absolutely dominated that last heat. In the very first 6 minutes of that heat, Johan, what did you do to prepare for this heat? And essentially, how did you feel going into this heat?
Yeah, I was really relaxed in this heat. I know the job is to looking for the good ride, and the tide was a bit too much high, so that was good to take the good first wave at the beginning. And I just happy and stoked to pass this heat. So happy.
Were you nervous at all? I mean, you had 2 really good competitors in your heat. What did you do did you block that out, or did you just do your own competition?
Yeah, and not so nervous. I feel relaxed. I have nothing to lose now, and I know now to pass the heat, it's to take the good ride. I'm not so confident on this ride, so I have to work on this point. But I'm really happy I did the job and go to round 4 now.
All right. Well, congratulations on your heat, and we will see you again in round number 4.
Yeah. Thank you, and thanks my sponsor, my friend who support me, my family. Thanks everybody, and this wave is amazing.
All right. So there you have it. We're going to see him in round number 4. Congratulations, Johan Florentine. This guy is on fire. Peace.
Yeah, there we have it. Johan Florentine from Reunion Island, really breaking through the barriers on this tour. We saw him in Mexico a couple of events ago, just shredding and winning the trials event, and really basically giving these guys a bit of a run for their money.
Well,
out of nowhere.
My mate Dan Saves, who works with me in Indonesia, he's world-class shaper, and he's been making the boards for the boys at Sniper there, and Johan's one of his riders. As we see Jace Finlay, we had that interview. So nice size wave and big invert. I mean, that's sort of like a signature Jace Finlay move now, isn't it?
That's right.
The invert, and that'll be probably the best scoring wave, and that it is. It's a 7.5 for Jace Finlay, so that rockets him into first place. Ben's in second with a 1.88 and a 2.33, and Jake has a 0.88 and a 1.43. So not too much happening there in second and third. That could change at any time. But Jace Finlay, the 2011 Fronton champion, showing he can do it in the smaller stuff too. So
that's right. We've seen him win last year in 10 to 12 foot conditions, windy, and yeah, basically one of the conditions I wouldn't like to be out in.
Yeah, well, Jace loves that stuff, and if you saw his video that the IBA's got out here on the website of Jace warming up, he came here 2 weeks before the contest, stayed with his good mate Elliot Morales, and he had Jeff from Rare Raw Productions there, Roy. Don't really know how to say it, but
Raw, yeah.
Jeff there, and he's Jean-Francois was videoing Jace, and it's a pretty amazing video. So as you can see, Jace has been enjoying his 2 weeks here and getting fluent with the Spanish again.
That's right, yeah, he's starting.
Yep.
So if you have just joined us, this is the NMD VS Fronton Pro 2012. Supporting sponsors, 662 Bodyboard Shop. Here we see Finlay again, having a look at this one here, eyeing off this ramp. What are we going to see this time? Nice roll, punches that one through, forward spin off the end there, and just kicks out.
We see Ben play, and you wonder again why didn't Ben go that way? But he had priority, so he chose to choose a wave, and that's what he. You know,
there
it
is.
He hung
There
back
it
for.
is. There
So he hangs back for the wave, gets the one, and you watch this here because Ben knows that Jace is a slow paddler. You watch him paddle straight past him.
Yeah, there
Jace is looking over the shoulder, and here comes the swimming. You know, this is what Ben does. We said before, he does lots of swimming training. He's going to try and see if Jakey boy can hold him. Jace can hold him off. So they're going.
And it looks like Ben might have him here.
Yep.
Jace doesn't know what's happening.
We called him the turtle last year because he'd just go out there, catch 8-foot bomb, and then he'd just stroke it back in easy and smile. And everyone else was getting quite frustrated as we looked on the inside
Green got
wave.
priority, so Ben has to go. Well, he doesn't have to go, but yeah, he's lost that priority and throws an air reverse out on that left-hander.
And we talked that earlier, Alex, with Matty, how when you don't have priority, and there's a few inside ones that can be scoring waves, and we saw that before with Pierre-Louis Costes in the last heat. Didn't have priority, he was third, and he got an inside one.
pretty good score.
Yeah,
should be
it
around
should
the
be up.
sevens.
You reckon the sevens? Okay, we'll see that. We see a wave out here. Jake scratching for it.
6, 5, 7. I think Jake will probably get
Jake's
for
gonna
that.
go this one.
Let's see what he can do here. Jake Stone, having a look at this thing. Eyes off this bowl. He's going for the ramp. Huge ramp here. What's he going to do? Oh, massive invert there. And his hand slipped off when he landed,
Yeah, I mean,
Mez.
those are big land. You know, it's a big move. You know, it might not be high, but he's projecting sort of a good 6 or 7 feet out into the flats. There's a lot of pressure coming down, you know, and it's weight, and he hits. You'll see his hand bounce off there. So
Now, this is Finlay's one he had just while we were on that replay.
okay, so we didn't see Jace's wave. It'd be good to see that from the start to see how he went. We saw him high-fiving the cameraman in the channel there.
Yeah, that's right.
But we've got to see that wave of Ben and then the wave of Jake when he lost the handle on the board there. So we haven't got any scores dropping yet for Jake's last 2 waves. So we're a bit out of the loop at the moment. So we'll watch this here. Projects, hits it hard. Look how far out he goes. When he lands. Look there, boom.
Boom.
And then unfortunately, maybe if he had the handle, he could have pulled through that. But it's hard to fight the white water with one hand on the board.
Yeah, so we'll just see what the judges deem that as a make. We're not sure. We couldn't see if he came out the front in the foam because it went out of screen. We'll wait for those scores to drop. At the moment, Finlay still in the lead, 14.1. We're waiting for his last wave score to drop. I don't think that roll's going to affect his lead. Ben Player in second. We've got 11 and a half minutes to remaining. Jake Stone down in third. 6.3. We believe the scores just come through. And now that's 6.93. So that's moved Jake into second and push Ben down into third. Well, geez, it's a battle for this third position, for this second position, isn't it?
Well, it's good to see that it is a battle. Jake was, he was out on the outer there. Nothing on the board and only half the heat to go. But he's come through with 2 okay waves and he's jumped into second place. It doesn't reflect that on the screen you're seeing, but we can see it here on our little iPad screen that Jake is in second place with a 6.3 and a 6.93. And Ben needs a 6.1 to get into second or a 6.98 to come into first.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is still in reach for Ben Player. He's at backup scores of 2.33, which isn't that... That's a terrible second scoring wave, so Ben will be looking to better that.
Yeah.
And that could shoot him into first position if he gets a good scoring wave.
Well, we're coming up straight after this. We have round 4.
Yeah, non-elimination round.
And the first heat, who we have, Alex?
We got Jared Houston.
We've got Jake again, taking an inside wave, and in the pit, driving through the foam, on the foam ball there. Nice roll, and can he fight through that? He does. That'll be a good wave for Jake. And that's, like we said, it's a hard thing to do to ride on that foam ball because it wants to throw you. It wants to take you and take you back around the washing machine.
Hard to bury a rail in there.
Yeah. So watch it here. Stalling, leg stall. Gets right underneath it. Comes out with a foam ball. Just a short barrel. But pops a nice clean roll. And then he's got to fight through that white water. So he didn't get that side wash there slamming him down. And that's a make for Jake.
A make for Jake.
I didn't intend that. So my rapping skills are limited.
Coming up in this round 4, non-elimination round. We're going to dive straight into it.
Ben with priority, so he pulls that one over Jace. Eyes are in the pit, Ben Player.
Let's see what he can do. Comes out. Looking for an end move here. Oh, he gets another pit there. And just punches out that. That's just pinched on him.
Experience.
That's right. So he'll get rewarded for that, Ben. Two barrels on that one wave.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting because we've got the last wave of Jake's with the short barrel with the roll. And then Ben Player there with 2 barrels. So we watched that wave again of Ben. Driving off the bottom, sits in there perfectly, comes up, he's still pulling up, comes back down again, stalls, total stall, and a second cover up comes through. So it looks different on the angle there, Alex.
Yeah, not clean. Doesn't look clean. That.
Yeah, it looked a lot better from the side.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Now, what is a chandelier? I've heard the chandelier, but I don't know what it is.
Just the chandelier of the lip, sort of, as it comes down and pinches on you, and you sort of break through it.
Yeah.
Punch through it. You see, nice style of riding there. Sort of takes a high line to come out of that.
Well, we're seeing that on the screen here as you are at home, but the judges have a different view. So you're doing judging at home, and you'll be calling stuff, and you're going, how can that get that score? But you've got to remember that we're looking at it from the camera's point of view, whereas the judges, I don't believe, have that chance. Do they, Alex?
No. They can see the replay. They've got a replay screen in the judges area. So especially when there's a split peak, they'll use it to their advantage, this replay screen, and make sure they get the correct decision made.
So we see that Ben Player with that double barrel jumps into first place. It was a 7.75.
That's like I touched on before. Ben only needed a 7 score to get up there in the first position. Stoney's been pushed back to third. Finlay in second.
Yeah, so Jake needs a 7.95 in first and a 7.18 to get into second. Jace needs 7.39 to get back into first, and Ben Player jumping from third to first with one wave.
Well, I mean, there's only a 1.5 difference between first to third. This is such a close heat. We saw this happen in Nick Omrod and Jacobs and
Romero,
and Hub's heat earlier. That was so close. It was a good heat to watch.
And you kind of look at it and you think, oh man, they're so close. So you're like 0.1. There's only one between them, but they need to get a big scoring wave, and these are all good scores. They're in the 6s and the 7s. So Jake might only be a 14.1 of Jace Finlay and a 13.23. Looks like there's only half a point in it, but it's not the case. He needs a 7.18 to get into second, and that's it's not beyond him, but it's a big ask. And with 6 minutes to go, it's starting to heat up. So priorities probably looks to be like it's I'm not sure at all. Any idea there?
Yeah, I do believe Finlay. Is it Finlay or Jake? But I know Ben's in third priority because he just got that wave before.
Okay.
Coming up in this round 4, I'm going to give it another go. Jared Houston, Ure Martinez, Mark McCarthy, and Diego Cabrera. That's coming up in the next heat. Non-elimination round. We're going to see these guys go big because there's a lot on the line here. You do win this next round heat, you will jump straight into the quarterfinals and finish with a minimum of a 5th in this event. And we're going to see Ryan Hardy in that round as well, and he's on the cusp, and he needs to finish with a quarterfinal result.
So if he wins his fourth round, Alex, he goes straight into the quarterfinal, and he is in the top 16 for next year. Is that correct?
At the moment, yes. He needs to jump up ahead of Sam Bennett and Eda Luciano, which.
So Ed is not here, I believe.
Ed is not here, and if Ryan makes the quarters, he will jump up over Dave Hubbard and Ed Luciano, and he'll be in the top 16.
Okay, and what about Sam Bennett? Because he's in the next round too, coming up, right?
Sam Bennett's on the cusp too at 16th. He needs to basically get to the quarters. If he makes round 6, he will be equal with Hardy if Hardy goes straight to the quarters. So it's coming down to them. But then don't forget, can't count out Jake Stone here. If Jake makes the semis, he'll jump all of them as well. So and then depending on what happens with those 3 guys and Eda, will determine Nick Omrod's placings if he qualifies for next year, as he sits in 8th position now on the QS after trials here. But Eda will have to use his qualifying his qualification from the qualifying series for next year, as he's actually up in, I believe he's in 4th or 3rd position.
Nervous heads in the competitors area. You can see it. They're just sitting there kind of stressed and doing the math. I saw Nick Omrod doing the math.
They're all doing the math, And then on top of that, you've got Winnie and Hub.
Yeah. So, it's not just the battle for first, it's the battle for the top 16. And that's heavy. They've got sponsors, they've got clauses in their contract that might say they have to be in the World Tour. Otherwise, who knows? They've got to negotiate. Some guys have to renegotiate. Some guys are looking for sponsors. And, it's a heavy situation. The final event, there's so much riding on it.
So much riding on this event.
Yeah, it's not as jovial as it is another contest out there in the competitors area, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they've all got the calculators out. Omrod's sitting there. He's just been doing the math. He's nervous.
Or they've got the human calculator, Ryan Hardy.
Yeah, that's right. He studies the rankings more than anyone, Ryan. So,
so the next heat that's coming up that Alex just called then is actually 2 South Africans and 2 Canary Islanders. So Jared Houston and Mark McCarthy from South Africa, and Ure Martinez and Diego Cabrera from Canary Islands.
Yeah, we saw Jared and Mark are just surfing incredible this wave, and so is Ure and Diego. So this is going to be incredible heat to watch. Local knowledge versus two of the couple, probably the top 5 guys on the tour at the moment.
Well, Jared and Mark both won their heats. If I'm right, I believe.
That's right, correct today.
So they're sort of coming with momentum from the earlier heats. Ure was second in Jared's heat.
And
I didn't
Diego's
see Diego's
too.
heat. So yeah, so it's a country battle, but I'm sure Jared and Mark will be going for first. There'll be no love lost between those two.
No, they are best of mates, and they were cheering each other on when they were in the heats earlier. So they do support each other, but with this priority system, I guess it doesn't get too hostile out there. There's no snaking. It's only that paddle battle that goes on.
As we see a set come through, and who's in position for this one? Jake. So Jake takes off. Nice set wave in the pit. Driving through it, comes out, and is there anything on the inside? No, there's not. So that's very frustrating for Jake.
Short barrel there for Jake. Let's see what the scores come in as that. I don't think it's going to improve on his 6-3.
No, it was a good size wave, and he waited for it, but that's just Mother Nature not dishing it up,
The swell direction here is really west today, Mez, and you can see it's just over-wedging itself and just sort of almost just one peak, where it's not really, the water's too full on the right-hand wedge.
Yep.
So
how's the tide going to play as we progress into this 4th round?
It's just gone high tide about 15 minutes ago.
Okay.
So we're going to see some improvement starting to happen in the next couple of rounds.
Yep. So here's Jake's wave again. Nice size set wave. Sets himself up well in the barrel.
And you can see all this water in your screen just in front of Jake there. You can see this current coming across the reef. You can see this side bend coming across right in the bottom of your screen there. There's a lot of water on the reef at the moment.
7 point. Jake.
As soon as we see that water start to taper off the reef, we're going to see the right hand has really started to open up. In about an hour's time, we're going to see some...
That's not going to help Jake at all. He's got a minute to go. We're waiting for that score to drop, if it hasn't already. So, tough position for Jake Stone. This could be the end of his 2013 campaign. Could end, be shut out right here. So...
That's right. Very unlucky for Jake. Such a close heat too. He doesn't have priority at this stage, which is going to,
You can see Jace just looking back.
30
I'm
seconds
sure Jace
to go.
probably doesn't feel too great, but that's the type of rider that Jace is. He's like a caring guy. And as we see Ben take off in the last wave of the heat. So, nice backflip.
Boom. Nice backflip there for Ben Player. Still milking in the inside here and goes for another backflip. Pulls that one off. So he's just extending his lead there, I believe. I'm sure he'll get rewarded for that.
Yep.
2 flips on the one wave.
Got 4 seconds to go. Can Jake get something in this 4 seconds? Can he do it? He's kicking on. He's kicking.
This is huge for Jake. He needs something big here. I don't know if he's going to get it. Doesn't get it. End of the road for